Okay, I'm going to start the recording now. The time is currently 3:11 p.m. EST on the 18th of February 2024. Currently the room is myself, 729 Damien Starr, and 554
Blake Taylor.
Blake Taylor, as well as Valentino Romanelli.
At least you didn't forget my name. Cough, cough.
So across from the room for me is Valentino Romanelli. Can you just state your full name for the recording?
My full name?
Yes, please.
Valentino Romanelli.
Thank you. We have read your rights, just so you know you are under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you decline to say during questioning, anything you say during questioning can and will be used against you in court. Anything you decline to say may work against you. You have the right to an attorney if you have one. If you do not have one, we can provide you, but for your charge by the state of San Andreas, if one is available. Do you understand these rights? I've read them to you.
I do.
Okay, and Miss Romanelli, do you consent to this interview being recorded?
I don't really mind.
Okay, and 554 Taylor, do you consent to this interview being recorded?
Yes.
I also consent to the interview being recorded. That's 729 Damien Starr. During this interview, you can request a lawyer at any time. You can choose not to answer a question or any more questions. You can stop this interview at any time. Alrighty. So, can you please tell us how you came to be at the San Andreas Fire and Rescue Station today at roughly 2:30 p.m.
Oh,
EST?
I was just sitting there for a little bit.
Okay, and where had you been before that?
If I recall my steps correctly, I was at the pier and the beach. I don't remember anything specifically, though. It has been a long time. I don't have the greatest memory, after all.
Okay, and were you at both the pier and the beach alone?
Depends.
Were you there with someone else?
My memories are quite vague, but I believe there might have been somebody else.
Do you remember who that person is?
Not really.
Do you remember speaking with the person you were with at the pier and the beach?
I do.
What did you talk about?
I don't remember our conversation, but I do remember talking to this person.
And how did the conversation end?
I mean, they weren't quite the nicest persons then.
Okay.
I told them I wouldn't mess with me, but yeah.
And what was their response?
They just laughed at me. Didn't laugh that long.
What happened after they left?
Oh, sorry, I said they left.
Yeah, what happened after they left?
Oh, they slipped.
They slipped how?
There was some algae. I don't know how to pronounce that specific word, but you know that green thing that's just on the bottom of the sea?
Algae?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, I cannot pronounce that word. It was specifically on the pier, and they might have slept on that.
And where did they slip and end up? Where did they fall to?
They were quite a tall person, but he slept under the railing and might have ended up in the ocean.
And after they ended up in the ocean, did you try to get them medical assistance?
I did not.
Did you see them surface after falling into the ocean?
I did not.
Were they injured at all when they fell into the ocean?
I believe they did hit the railing once. They might have been a little bit drunk because they were slurring their words a little bit. I believe they had a bleeding nose when I saw them last.
And at any point did you make physical contact with them?
What kind?
It could be any kind, but at any point did you touch them or did they touch you?
You did get a little bit aggressive verbally and physically. You should have known not to get close to me.
In what manner did they get physically aggressive?
And I thought it was a good idea to go ahead and give me a little bit of a slap.
And how did you respond to that?
Well,
979 plus 176 London Mason.
you know, as a person who quite likes to defend themselves, I told them we better do that once more and chow chow. Castration. But I didn't do that. Don't worry.
Okay. So did they continue to physically make contact with you?
Oh, well, they did not think that was funny. So they decided to. Well, they were quite as well running into me. Or trying to very likely get me on the floor, maybe to beat me up at that point. But let's just say they did not end up doing that well. And that might have been the point they slipped.
So what did you do when they ran into you?
Oh, I walked away,
You walked away?
maybe.
Where did you walk to?
Around 50 centimeters from my original location.
And what did they do next?
Well, that's the point where they slept after also.
Did you make physical contact with them when they slept?
I think I had dropped something out of my pocket while they slept, but yeah, I think that might have been it.
What did you drop out of your pocket?
I don't know, it might have been one of my bottles. I keep a lot of them on me.
Right.
It might have also been my little my little handy too, like Harry on me.
You also had a knife on your person when we arrested you. Did you withdraw that at any time during the interaction?
Just a little bit.
And did that make contact with them at any point during the interaction?
I did.
Did that injure or wound them when you made contact with them?
Not too heavily, they only got scratched.
At what area of the body did you make contact with the knife?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which area of their body did you make contact with the knife?
Oh, sorry, I didn't understand that quite right. They had, well, as they were trying to punch for me, I slid out of the way, basically, and while I was sliding away, I did indeed have the knife out, and as I was only around 50 centimeters away from my original location, they basically ran into the knife themselves. Maybe that was the reason as well where they slipped, I don't know.
And when they made contact with the knife, what part of their body made contact with the knife?
It might have been their stomach.
So the knife went into their stomach?
Or just a little bit. It didn't go, like, if you were I don't know how to explain this well. I was not completely in them, as more of sliced their side.
Did you intend for the knife to go into their body?
Are you asking me if I was happy about it?
Were you happy about it?
A little bit.
And was it your intention for the knife to enter their body?
Not really, but
How did you feel when they fell over the side of the pier?
oh, I felt great.
Why was that?
That just meant I didn't have to deal with another idiot. Or, well, everyone might not have to deal with another idiot.
And is that how the red substance came to be on your hands from the knife going into their body?
971 plus 1 is going to be
Very
1
likely.
pound, 6 centimeter PD.
Why did you rinse your hands with a liquid when we were speaking to you at the San Andreas Fire and Rescue Station?
They were sticky.
And was the substance on your hand blood?
It might have been.
What do you mean by it might have been? Are you unsure, or do you just not want to clarify?
I just didn't want to clarify.
Why don't you want to clarify?
I mean, it did smell a bit metally, but well, I don't know how to explain that. Actually, is it metallic?
I can understand what you mean by metallic. Would you have said the smell coming from it was similar to that of blood?
No, yeah, no, it was.
And would you say that a casual observer would assume it was blood based by the appearance?
Very likely.
Would you say that it was blood on your hands?
Very likely.
Do you know the location of the individual now?
Not really. When they went under, I did not really look after them. I just went ahead and walked away.
Do you know the name of the individual you were speaking to in the pier?
Oh no, it was just some kind of drunk. Sorry I have to say this. Some kind of drunk asshole.
Okay, was it about the, you mean the city's beach, Vespucci, or, you know, was it further up, you know, in the state? Do you remember anything?
I'm sorry?
The location where we met these individuals, was that the, you know, by the pier, by Vespucci, or was it further up in the state, or do you remember
It was
where?
on the pier, like I had said.
Pier, okay.
Can you confirm which pier that was?
As much as I know, the only pier that really isn't too lively.
Would that be the pier with the Ferris wheel and fun fair at the end?
No.
So which pier would that be?
It might have been one in Polito Bay.
So it was up in Plato Bay this occurred.
It was.
And how did you make your way from Plato Bay to the San Andreas Fire and Rescue Station?
I don't actually remember.
Do you remember at any point between the interaction of the pier and when we started to speak to you at the San Andreas Fire and Rescue Station?
Not really.
So just to confirm, you have no memories from this interaction until we started to speak to you?
Sorry. That is indeed true, my dear.
Does anyone have anything else they would like to add?
Movie code 4 UTL. We expect any taxi back available.
Mm,
225 on Taylor.
okay, so just to confirm, you have no recollection what happened between when you were on Pier Polito and when you come to the San Andreas Fire Rescue Station?
I do not recall anything in between those two things. That is indeed true.
Okay. All right. I think we're gonna take a break now, and we'll be right back.
The current time is 3:26 EST, and they're going to be ending the recording.